I'm glad you could make it. This will be the first of what I've been thinking of as fireside chats, something a little more informal than the other videos I've been posting. And I was also thinking that a good inaugural topic of conversation would be the classical element of water. Now, I may be a little biased in that choice as I have a very strong personal connection to that particular element. And in fact, I'm a true son of Poseidon. I have feel with a need for spiritual healing. I seek out rivers, streams, lakes. And to me, a long soak in a hot bath is a divine gift. I almost dropped my book. There was one time, actually more than one time, but I live near well, it's called a creek, but it's actually the size of a small river. And I went to the shoals one time where it was, fairly shallow. And I laid down upon the rocks and lifted my head above the surface, and I just felt the water washing over me. And as I laid there and meditated, it became more like the water was just going over me, through me, and I felt it just cleansing me from within, just carrying out all the stress, aggravation that I have been carrying inside upon the, I wanted to say waves, but in a creek it's not really waves, upon the currents. And I just came out of that river just feeling so refreshed and renewed. Now, I said a moment ago that I'm one of Poseidon's children, but, honestly, aren't we all? I mean, adults are somewhere between 50 to 60% water, and infants have an even higher ratio. Our brains, lungs, heart, muscles, kidneys, and skin are primarily water, which is necessary for our cells to collect nutrients and oxygen, remove waste, and even maintain their shape and structure. In fact, our blood carries the water we drink to trillions of cells throughout our bodies and infuses every single one. Now, I'll be the first to admit that hydration is something I tend to struggle with. I drink water every day as long as it's imbued with dark roast coffee, which I drink a lot of. So much so that I really lose a lot of the hydrating effects due to caffeine being a mild diuretic, and thus leading to dehydration when you drink more than 4 or 5 cups a day, which I definitely do. Some days I actually drink a pot and a half, so if a pot of coffee is 12, half of 6 is 18 cups of coffee a day. It's a lot of coffee, I know. So because of that, I'm usually so chronically dehydrated that when I actually do drink just water, I can feel it soaking up into my body the moment it hits my stomach. I always get this image in my mind of dry, cracked earth, like just sucking up the first rain after a drought. So, yeah, hydration is definitely something I need to personally work on. However, that feeling is exactly what made me think water would be a good topic of discussion, especially since, surprise, surprise, I have a personal alchemical ritual I've incorporated into drinking it. The inspiration for this ritual was something that I mentioned a bit ago, that the water we drink infuses every cell of our bodies. Now, it's not an elaborate ritual and only takes a few moments to complete, but the symbolic language of it can be extremely powerful. Now, first you need to ask yourself what qualities you wish to embody. Maybe you'd like to be more confident or compassionate, or maybe even more optimistic. Whatever you choose, make sure that it's framed in a positive light instead of a negative one. For example, rather than saying something like, "I don't want to become easily frustrated," rephrase the question into the more positive aspect of, "I want to be more patient." Once you've selected your quality, pour yourself a glass of water and calm your mind a bit. Try to filter out any distractions and concentrate solely on how that glass of water feels in your hands. Is the glass heavy? Is it cold? Is the surface smooth or textured? Now, the container you're using really doesn't matter that much. What's important here is that we're becoming mindful of the water in our hands, as that presence in the moment is what helps turn something as simple and mundane as taking a drink into an intentional ritual. Anyhow, when you feel centered in the moment, blow your mouth until it's just above the cup's rim and close your eyes. Take a long, slow, deep breath and picture yourself breathing in the quality you want to embody. It might look like steam, streams of energy, or anything else your mind imagines. I'm not going to tell you exactly what you should picture, as your personal symbolism will always be more effective than anything I can do. Whatever you see, see yourself breathing it in and hold it for a moment, and then blow steadily into the cup when you exhale. Personally, I envision streams of colored energy, so when I exhale, I see that energy hitting the water and making it glow like a magic potion or elixir. You want to do this several times, aware of the fact that you're charging the water with your intended purpose. Then trust yourself to know when you've charged it enough. For me, it's when I can not only clearly envision the entire glass as a brilliant, shimmering vessel of energy, but also when it feels different. It may feel heavier than it was, lighter, or even warmer. Regardless, you'll want to raise the glass to your lips and slowly drink from it, remaining mindful of how the water feels and tastes in your mouth. Because I envision energy when you swallow, I picture it as a glowing liquid that goes into my stomach and then spreads throughout my entire body. I imagine the energy soaking into my individual cells, which start glowing themselves. You can drain the entire glass in one drink, or you can relish each sip until it's empty. The most important thing here is to drink with mindful intention and visualization. Now, our logical mind knows that water truly does infuse our cells, which makes it an excellent delivery vehicle for the subconscious symbolism of change. We're basically seeing your intended result as not just something we embody, but as an integral part of our biology, as much as our blood and muscles. It becomes part of us. And that's not only pretty strong symbolism, that's alchemy. So give it a try and let me know in the comments how it goes, but remember, repetition is the key to reprogramming our subconscious minds, so you'll want to do this on a fairly regular basis. Anyhow, thanks for stopping by. I look forward to seeing you again, either here by the fireside or in one of the more structured alchemical labs. And until then, drink your energized water and, as always, walk in peace and light.